And recipes, yes.
Heck yeah. All right, so I got
So,
recordings here. Let's see if we can do it.
Mr. Chandler, how long's it been since the last time you and I had spoke? I know it's been a minute.
A month or two, I think, right?
I'd say I think I talked to you for the first time on the very first session, and then ever since then I've not been able to catch them.
Yeah, well, I've also been super busy with a lot of stuff.
And I mean, like, that's cool, man. You know, like, I'm not blaming you. You know, we're all human. I get it.
Well, this week I met a pretty hot girl at the gas station last Monday, and she actually said yes. So I've been kind of busy with that too. So.
Nice. Okay, hell yeah. I thought you were happily spoken for, but I mean, hell yeah.
No, I'm a single dad.
Ah, that sucks. Yeah. What a fucked up place to find yourself in.
Yeah, it's not super.
Whoa. Before you switch windows, we were just looking into the stream. You were just like looking into like the window portal on the stream.
Yeah. That's that.
Yeah, so this is allegedly a recording. Let me try to play something and see if we get audio in the recording.
Perfect. So if this is the official start of the recording, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Composing with Chandler.
Heck yes.
This is one of your co-hosts, Mr. Logan Gifford. Alongside me is Aaron Cosbiel, alongside the very talented Mr. Chandler, aka Flamingo. Go search him up on Spotify. He makes fantastic electronic and ambient music.
Hey.
So we here with Mr. Chandler tonight. What are we working on tonight, Chandler? Because like I said, I've been privileged enough to like witness some of your process and like what you be working on. Been doing great work, honestly. I mean, personally, like not even as like a co-creator, but just as a as a producer and the writer of the show. But in my eyes, personally, you've been doing great work. It's been so far fantastic of all the samples and things that I've heard. That you've put together.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah. So today we're gonna work on I started last week splitting the main soundtrack I sent you guys into like 4 or 5 parts.
Nice.
So
and this was like the main theme that you'd been trying to make into different things.
Yeah, and I gotta see. What's really sad is that this one part right here, is that was like a whole nother part of the song that I seem to have lost the file. So I might be writing that whole part again.
Oh no.
For right now, I'm just working on this ambient part basically. So I'm making from here to about 49. I'm gonna try and make that into a song, and then I'm gonna make 49 to about 97 into a song, and then the rest another type of like the rest will be like the actual theme song that you hear in the intro and things like that.
What do you got so far? Like as far as those themes go, can we, is essentially are you comfortable with sharing them in the state that they are?
Yeah, I might have for the last part. I'm sure a lot of people have heard the actual theme song, but yeah, I'll show you the parts. This is
for sure.
I'll show you kind of how I made it too. So these two together sound pretty good, but what I did was I found the tone that is the key of the song basically, and then tried to make like an interior of a spaceship sound that could go with it.
See, key matching is cool too, especially for the main theme. Because like that, especially too, like if we can match specific spaceship tones to like whether it's like protagonist or antagonist, that would be cool too.
Yeah, I think.
where it's like the antagonist, their spaceship ringing like a minor key or something like that.
Yeah, and Skip and I were talking about the engine of the ship being like a certain tone as well.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, isn't there like a certain frequency that y'all were talking about where it's like there's like a healing frequency that like the
We were gonna try to do that, but I have to figure out how to actually like measure that type of stuff. I've never like paid attention to curves and stuff like that. I've never tried to manipulate it.
right, yeah. So what we're hearing now is the ambient sounds of the spaceship. Yeah, these are like the button presses and like the
Yeah, so right here, that's where it's gonna be another song. The first part that you just
see like, and I heard the, but no, like I heard the theme come in, and I like just that piece, and like Kaz, stop me if if you think I'm overstepping, but I really like that specific piece for like that first frame that we animated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where they're speaking with each other, and there's like the panels all around you, like you hear like the beeps and the boops from the panels.
Yep, that's basically 81. That is what I would call. I'm glad you brought that up because that is basically what I would call dialogue music. Like
Okay.
there is a tone to it, but it's the type of music you hear in the background, and so you're really thinking about it subconsciously. It's not like something you would sit there and be super interested and listen.
And then also what I like about it, because that dialogue takes place before the Cox and Space theme.
Mhm.
So it does like subtly introduce like the bum 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 bum. It subtly introduces that theme in the background before they sing the theme song, which is I personally I think is a very cool touch.
Yeah.
I think it came together really well, especially on the first screen test. So yeah, this sound actually I'm super proud of. So without the effects, it's I don't even remember what the original sound was.
Yeah, he gave it that chop though, like that wah 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 wah. Yeah, that chop is a good effect. So I see that ambient chop turns into one of the beefs that we hear.
It turns into let me play it.
That's amazing.
I'll turn it up.
Right, yeah. But no, that's what I'm saying. Like that's an ambient sound from the spaceship that like if you listen turns into, because you applied like I don't know what you applied, like the sound wave or something, but like it turns into the beats that we hear in the cockpit.
Yeah. It's basically making the pitch go up and down super fast, and it turns into a
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It turned out way better than I expected.
That's why I call you not a musician but a sound designer. I mean, and of course, like if that is offensive, like of course you're a musician first and foremost, but like for you truly know how to get the sounds that you're looking for, and I respect it. I find that amazing.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about it. Sometimes it doesn't work out,
Like I said, I like the beeps. We might have to mute those for when he's like running down the hallway, but there can also be beeps when he's like up at the front with the cockpit. Kaz, what do you?
That's a good thing that you brought up. So I was going to ask you guys for a list of locations because as I write these different songs.
So do you have access to the artwork Discord?
Yeah.
The Cox artwork? So it was at a point where he was posting frame by frame updates, but essentially what we're looking for is, I think the music, cause if I'm not mistaken, it's uh one of the updates that he had posted not long ago that we're looking for. You know, like where he's running around in circles, running up the hallway, and then going and talking to Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it starts off like on the ship,
Right.
and they're running around trying to figure out A, where the planet is, B, how we can get into it. Then there's the theme. Then they actually get to the planet of Pussy Paradise, and they land on a beach. So there will probably.
Look, I'm gonna post this in the music chat, and then let me know if this is, you know, like we're kind of on common ground here.
Yeah.
So this is like the frame set that I was talking about, Kaz. Like as far as like when he was talking about like dialogue stuff, because you know, like there's gonna be like a grand theme, you know, like when we're flying through space and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine, or at least like sound effects. So this is like the part that I thought that we were making music for.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a part of it. The second song for the pipe that they're running and stuff like that. I'll add different pipes to that.
Yeah, and I mean this is fully colored now. This is the, like I said, like usually he used to post updates, like you know, like the whole file update when he would color them and stuff, but he hadn't done it in a minute.
Yeah, true. So last time I was working on the first part and I added a few parts in. Oh yeah, so I did a similar thing. Bass here. Bass, oh, did I do bass? Okay. So this what was this? I think it's just, what is it by itself? And all of this awesome. Oh, yeah. So this is the tom. This is the tom sample, but it has a lot of reverb, so you can use it to do the same thing there, kind of. And then you get a pretty cool sound effect. But what really fucking makes my beatings is this tone right here.
I'm sorry, I don't.
So that turns it into like a bass.
Right, yeah, I hear it. It's like a much deeper wah wah wah. But I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. And you know, like I want whoever's listening to hear the tone. But man, I've never heard "bakes my beans" before. I've heard a lot of things.
That's my favorite.
But that something bakes your beans is truly classic, and I will be adding that to my library.
I added this random to another column to like be on top of this column. So it adds like, it's very hard to hear. It turns out that tone right there is what it's adding. So literally just by adding like EQ and tones and stuff, you can bring out tones from sounds that really kind of don't have them. And then I put a low pass. And so this gradually builds up with everything else.
See, like in all those beefs and bloops, that's like original sound. And I apologize to ask, but that's original sound design. Like you made all that?
Yep. Yeah, I take samples that you would never think it came from, and then I try to just do crazy shit with them.
Wonderful.
So like that would be a fun thing to do right now too. Just go through all these. Let me play this.
Yeah, like understand we're making. Or no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna approach the joke from like the purely like music production standpoint. Just be like, yeah, you don't understand. We're making these sounds off of off of like Isaac Hayes records that you've never heard of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like my favorite thing to do because I mean the possibilities are endless. A lot of times just by changing pitch, super fast or slow, you can create some crazy shit.
Oh, absolutely. See, and that was another thing that I don't know if Skippa had shared with you is that I had taken a foray into trying to produce music, but most of what I did was just loops, beat loops and stuff from like from my cell phone. Never really learned how to use FL Studio or anything like that. So like just watching you do this is fascinating to me personally. And just like I said, it's like as someone who tried to produce music and has tried to use some of the software that you're currently using, the fact that you're so fluent in it is fascinating to me.
That's interesting. You say that. I used to use FL Studio a lot. In fact, thank you for bringing that up because that means the theme song isn't lost. It's in FL Studio.
Oh.
Yeah, I started this whole project in FL
Studio. Do seeing that Pepper brought back that just scraped memories out of the memory hole so hard?
Yeah.
Because I was making beats too when Xanax was cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like I was off the bars, like trying to. Oh God, the sound too. Oh man.
Close this real quick. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So FL Studio is actually where the theme song lives.
Well, that's what this is. The very first night Leslie asked me to do this, like the first stream or whatever. This is what I made. It's like the theme song. This is just fun.
See, and I still feel like this would be a good theme. Like for things going on. All right, here we go.
Happiness through the universe. Peter and Richard are here for me. At last it starts in space.
How triumphant.
Yeah, I think that part is like golden. It came together pretty good.
And see, especially too, like, because you brought in that tom sample earlier too, and I was like, that tom sample adds so much to the theme.
Yeah, I need to look for a plugin that has good drums that I can write in myself because that would just be better. The one that I used was like a splice loop.
The third episode is going to be a full-on musical episode. Yeah. And
so this is Cosby. Can we are we allowed to dig in a little bit more to the context of that episode in what we're currently doing?
No. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind talking about it. It's like a self-contained episode. They get an SOS from the Lullaby Nebula, where everything in the Lullaby Nebula gets turned into a musical because it's where they keep. There's like a hatchery incubator. It's a place for children, but they get an SOS from there. and so they go. The episode itself in my brain is called Date Night, because the SOS is really the mom and pop of that hatchery want to go out and see a play because it doesn't have music, and so they're looking for a babysitter. So it's like Luna and Richard going on a date to watch children, while Chloe and Peter get to have their time together.
See, and that's fun because that also develops like the love relationship between the two.
Yeah.
Because that was one thing that Skipper had brought up to me, I believe, is that like, excuse me. But that was one thing that Skipper brought up to me, is that like, these two characters are ultimately supposed to end up in love. Do you feel like that happens by the end of this episode? And I was like, nah, I mean, kinda. Like, you feel like they care for each other, like they're aware of one another.
Yeah, the first episode is like seeing a spark. The second episode, they don't really get to explore that at all. And so that's what I wanted from a third episode, was to also to like, because Chloe gets almost no stage time in the first two episodes. Yeah. And like, I want to see her and Peter together. Like, just like, they're the stable ones. So they're going to be on the ship, hanging out, having a nice date night, while chaos happens for Luna and Richard.
So it's going to be like a yin and yang type of dynamic for the episode, where it's like we can add humor by contrast.
Yeah, and also there's four in my brain. There's four children, and they're a barbershop quartet.
Okay, where do they come from? Who are they?
They're just like the parents. They're just the kids who just like are growing up.
They're just like part of like the place that like
the
they
incubator.
Go at.
Yeah, part of the incubator. They're just like kids who recently had.
They just like go on a date and like they're just like being serenaded by a quartet. Meanwhile, Richard and Luna are out there like firing guns. Like,
oh no, the quartet are the kids. So like those are the kids that Luna and Richard are trying to take care of. And then the fox shows up, and that's going to be really cool because it'll be the first introduction of a fox character.
And foxes should be natural enemies of both the cocks and the canines, I would imagine, right?
Yep, definitely the canines. I don't know how much you've been around for when Caleb and I have been talking about. There's a concept in the show called the Fox Wars, like before the show.
Okay, I heard about the Fox Wars. I like the Fox Wars, and I would like, if you would have me, I would like to help you develop the lore behind the Fox Wars.
Oh, so Richard builds the pecker to end the Fox Wars.
Exactly. See, and like, honestly, I'll start by saying this. The way I pitched the show is like there's two war veteran chicken brothers who, because of what they've seen through war, realize that it's their mission to spread happiness through space and time.
Yes.
That's how I pitched the show. Like,
that's how I pitched the show.
Right, like just like two sentences. Like there's war veteran chickens, but war veteran is a big part of it. And and I'm not saying that you need help doing it, but I would like to help if I could. Yeah.
That gets explored a lot. So there's in episode 5 is called Farm Point.
Right.
Which is a parody of Star Trek Encounter at Farpoint.
Isn't that also like the Old MacDonald episode?
That's the Old MacDonald episode where you'll actually get to see a lot of the Fox Wars in that episode as Old MacDonald explores the past and the motivations of the chickens.
What is this suspenseful tone that I hear?
So
Oh, this is spooky.
Yeah.
so what
I like
doing
this.
is, I found this random. I found this.
I like that. That's sneaky. That's like the spooky like sneak type of atmosphere.
And then I sliced it to mostly sample so that I can play like different notes and stuff.
Yeah.
So instead of having all the bass and stuff, and then I can basically make a whole new track, I guess. Throw it on this stepwise, basically a drum pattern thing. We just added this on like super excited about it. So now I can like do all sorts of quick. But you were talking about
Yeah, like I like the chime. I like the bass note, but the clap lasts for too long. I think the clap is hella long. There you go. Yeah, where it just come. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
Yeah, you're right.
you were talking about a scene where they run around and stuff. This could
Mhm.
work for a suspenseful run around sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because there is a scene in that episode, right, where Luna has to like sneak around the ship.
I think it could work.
Then Archie finds her.
I might even.
I feel like that could be the music for like the whole exchange.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put a low tone on it. This is A. I'm gonna read it for a second.
Chandler, do you have a copy of the script of the episode?
I think Skip was gonna send it. I'm not sure if the other did.
Damn.
I've been keeping up pretty good with just like what you guys got going on.
I don't know if I have the authority to do so. Maybe Kaz does.
I think I do.
I feel like that would be a very good thing for him to see, as far as like, you know, because like just because and the reason I say is because just because of these, if this is what he's doing off of what we're just describing to him verbally, I feel like if he sees it on a page and he kind of has it in context, we'll, you know.
Yeah, very true.
And again, no offense to you, Chandler. Like I said, you're doing fantastic work just with what we've described to you.
All right, I
mean,
put
for
it
fuck's
in
sake,
the music, like a
sake.
link to the first episode.
Okay, cool.
But what I was going to say was, for fuck's sake, Mr. Cosby sang you a melody, and we have multiple themes that we can use throughout the throughout the series now. Just because this man sang you a theme song.
And also, we have somebody to read and sing for Luna now. I finally got.
This is exciting news. I didn't hear about this.
This is literally just today. So she posted in the Facebook group that she's a professional singer, and she is fantastic. And so I sent her the script so that she could agree to read and sing for Luna.
Make sure it's something that she'd want to be a part of.
Yeah, because whoever plays Luna has to be a phenomenal singer.
But then also, whoever plays Luna has to be around for a long time, do they not?
Yep.
Because Luna's a recurring character, so like you gotta make sure like you lay that down. Like Luna's gonna be a recurring character who's gonna be around for a long time. So like if you are our Luna, we just want to make sure you're committed to that type of rip.
Yeah. I just posted one of her songs. She's on YouTube. She's got Spotify and really good singer. She has a musical back. Actually, her little brothers were when I was in a production of Oliver and playing Fagin. They were my little Olivers. So
nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Chandler, what if I see what you're doing right there, where you got like the sneaky tone? What if we make that the bass note? If we make the theme like boom, like real low, like boom, 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 like really low while they're sneaky. Could we try that?
Yeah, I'm trying to do a variation of the melody that can add tension, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Without being like the actual theme song. So like it has the same. These 4 notes are what carries the theme song. Like the first 3 notes is what carries it. Like as soon as you hear that, it's like, oh yeah, kind of.
Right, and right, like, and that's just like the recognizable tone that we need to have. So like I said, like even if it's low, like like. I wouldn't say like have it like, I don't know what you have it as now, if it's like a brass, but I would say put it as like a low bass, like a cello, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably change the sound. So these first 8 bars usually like just get that, and then.
And this is coming from a lowly producer, y'all. Like, I have nothing to do with the creation of the show, but, like, these are just my suggestions.
Yeah, no, all suggestions are welcome. I appreciate all that. So this will be like, the first part is added, building up that intention and stuff. And then eventually we'll come in with some
Ooh, very nice.
Dude, I definitely like how you came into the higher register with like or I guess I should say higher key with like the bum 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 bum. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
So we'll try to do a variation here.
I feel like yeah.
Yeah. So good idea, but definitely different instrument.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was just, pitching stuff. Put it out there.
No way. Try to see. This sound good lit. Dude, when I was in concert band, I sat next to a really hot student player the whole year. He was great. Okay.
Now, Kaz, I noticed you had sent something to the chat. Is that
That's Luna.
This will be our Luna.
Yeah.
And let me take a second and it's about 2.5 minutes. But I'll take a second and
yeah.
Oh wow.
There we go.
You should definitely give her some creative control over the songs she has to sing as well, because I feel like she'll make it fit her voice more. And it's not to say like that the song that you wrote doesn't have a swing to it, but it needs to have like a certain swing because it like her singing voice is perfect, I think, for what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I know. I was so excited.
It's amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's just like me posting in the group. Hey,
Chandler, did you have a chance to check the chat? Chandler, did you have a chance to check the chat and check out our Luna?
Is this this one?
It was the one that Cosville had sent to the. It was the general chat that we're doing under the music thread.
Oh, that's the.
Honestly, I don't even know which chat this is. I think it's just the general.
Just
full general chat.
Yeah, like. Oh.
Joy Bigger.
Yeah.
Yes. Check that out. I know that this is going to be our Luna is very excited.
Love better, hold you close even when we're not together. Ooh, I promise you. Ooh, I will. Little presents waiting to be wrapped. The fire's glowing, I'm kicking back. Missing you now more than ever. Joy bigger, love better. Hold you close even when we're not together. Ooh, I promise you. Ooh, I will. Ooh, you said it's not the things that matter. It's the gathering, the love, the laughter. I miss you now more than ever. Joy bigger, love better. Hold you close even when we're not together. Ooh, I promise you. Ooh, I will. Celebrate side by side, across the room, across the tide. A kind word and a toast to old friends and those we love the most. Joy bigger, love better. Hold you close even when we're not together. Ooh, I promise you. Joy bigger, love better. Hold you close even when we're not together. Ooh, I promise you. I will.
Yeah, I think that's a good fit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's our voice when we get to doing Luna's song.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. She's got good vibrato.
I definitely endorse her as the pick. I was actually showing my fiance that, and dude, honestly, personally, beautiful voice. If she can pull off like the voice parts, I mean, even if we just use her for like the song parts,
yeah,
and we use someone else for the vocals, I would just be very excited to have her as a part of it because she's a very talented singer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but she's got a theater background, so I assume she can also do the voice parts as well.
That's exciting. So have we found a Chloe yet?
I don't really know. Like, my sister read for her in the first episode, but also in the third episode, we'll need somebody who can sing.
Chloe's
I've got
in the third episode.
It's a musical episode. There's nobody who's safe from singing in the third episode. even Peter, who is going to be the most reluctant to sing, is going to have to do something. But I've got this really good idea for a song for Chloe that's just like a lament, and it's just like a beautiful song.
Backflow.
Yeah, but that's but we'll see.
And like I said, far be it for me to like stretch my boundaries, but dude, I can help you with, you know, like writing songs or like, you know, just let me know.
Okay. Yeah. I've got some good ideas. I've been absorbing, like my brain has been in nothing but musicals this whole week, just to try to, because I got some good ideas for songs, good ideas for funny songs. I want like a bit like to throughout the episode is like trying to find a second verse for the Cox and Space theme. Something for Chloe and Luna to be in the theme. Because obviously when they pass into the musical nebula, they're gonna start singing the Cox and Space theme, but like in a more musical way.
So what is the first verse that we have? Cox in space, not in your face.
Spreading happiness through the universe. Peter and Richard are there for you. At last, Cox in space.
Okay. So
and there's going to be jokes.
Space if Luna and Chloe are describing themselves, or could we possibly make a joke right there?
Oh, well, there's going to be jokes throughout the episode of what the second verse should be. But it's going to end on Chloe and Luna will care for you.
Right. Yeah.
Space.
But that's what I'm saying is like, would they refer to themselves as Cox in space? Like, would they?
Well, I mean, Chloe her last name would be Cox, because she's married to Peter. But Luna, she's just part of the Cox and Space crew. So
like at this point, I feel like, you know, like after the first successful mission, you know, like they've accepted her.
Yeah. But like Chloe and Luna will eat fondue, will throw a shoe.
Chloe and Luna
will eat fondue at last.
This is Cox in space. That's funny.
We'll throw a shoe.
That's funny.
We'll take a poo.
Nah, we can do better. I feel like we can do better than poop jokes.
We can, and they're going to be peppered throughout the episode.
And Luna. See, like, I feel like that's the big line. It's like we don't really need to change it up that much, but now that you bring it up, that is the big line where it's like that makes the difference. Chloe and Luna are at last. Yeah. It's Cox in space. Like that's the
and it just ends at "We'll care for you," and like I really truly envision a very sweet ending.
Yeah, the end of
there's
the
going to
next
be twists and turns
is
and
positive
songs and yeah.
Writing a musical will be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got the only song that I truly have written in my brain is Chloe's Lament, which is just like her singing to like herself.
Automatically thought of Isaac Hayes. I'm sorry.
Who's Isaac Hayes?
Who's Isaac Hayes? Bumpy's Lament, like all the music that he participated in for Superfly. Him and Curtis Mayfield did the Superfly record.
I don't know what that is.
Superfly?
That's the one with Jeff Goldblum.
Chandler, help me out here, man. Have you heard of Superfly?
When I was a kid, I haven't watched that in a fat minute.
I'm saying, bro, I knew you got to heard of Curtis Mayfield, bro. I'm your mama. I'm your daddy. I'm that neighbor in the alley.
Yep.
I'm your doctor. What you need? Want some coke? Have some weed.
Yep.
Come on, bro.
That's a banger song, too.
It is.
Yeah. I wasn't even musically hip in my own high school days, so anything that came out after it, I definitely don't know.
This was before, dude. I'm Curtis Mayfield was like popular in the 70s.
Oh.
I'm just well read musically.
Yeah.
I grew up on a lot of different shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like what I like to tell people is everything from Motley Crue to 2 Live Crew. Grew up on a lot of different shit.
I've heard the name Motley Crue. Don't know specifically any of their songs. But
You've probably heard Girls, Girls, Girls at least once.
let's find out.
Girls. At the dollhouse in Fort Lauderdale. Yo, what is this crazy? I just heard you had that crazy ass like synth or guitar riff going. What is going on there?
Okay.
I like that.
It's supposed to be unsettling, so I'm gonna try and do something with this.
It's suspenseful. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why it caught my attention. I was like, whoa, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
He layered this in, and I was like, whoa, wait, damn.
I'm gonna try and do 2 things with this. So I'm gonna duplicate it twice. I'll try to use the same technique with the. I don't think this will work, but I'll try.
So is that like what did you do there to come up with that melody? Is that like the score negative of the Cox in Space melody?
The horn?
I was just asking, like, why does it sound, no offense, so uncomfortable to listen to?
Well, okay, so this is the sample that I found. It's called Outer Space Guitar. And this is what it sounds like by itself. That's it. That's all it is. But if you put it up, it'll match the key. And then
it almost gives me like an Esperanto, like a different type of theme.
Yeah.
Cosby, like, like, I don't want to override you. Like, please, let us know your input, man.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like more cool ambient music. I know less about that aspect. But it sounds cool. I don't know the technical bits of that.
It's definitely cool as hell.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I just need to meet all these.
But I would say definitely, like, if we're gonna stay with that, like, give me that track again, but mute the lead guitar part like that.
The track will probably change a bit. Yeah, I got you.
Right, like do that with the guitar, but like soft. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it works like that cartoon type of like.
Right, like that's the sneaky, like spooky, like kitten sneaking through the. Yeah. Sneaking through the spaceship type of deal. She's a cat, excuse me, but like cat like skulking through the. I like that.
Oh yeah, and there is.
We could use that in episode 1 in the warehouse.
On the cat planet. And some of these cats are not up to good.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some parts where you're like, there's going to be like some definitely like, I feel personally like for Marbles and Whiskers, especially for Marbles, there's going to be like some evil chord type of themes, you know?
Yeah. And then there will eventually be some like ethereal when they get to Cat Heaven.
I'm definitely excited to see what Marbles looks like. And that's just officially if I had been chosen as the voice for Marbles. I know I had talking to Skipper, but I hadn't spoken with you about it yet.
I think you are. Yeah, I think we like you for Marbles, to stick with Marbles.
Thank you.
And we're gonna find somebody else for Whiskers.
Okay, that's fine. And I mean, like Whiskers definitely needs to be someone who's like smooth and evil at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know if I can pull that off with the voices that I could do.
Yeah, I think I've got some ideas of people who could play him, but it's all a matter of like whenever we are going to actually do some recording, and because right now we're just like trying to see what episode 2 is going to sound like with all its different parts, and eventually we'll go back and re-record episode 1 with better mics and more concrete casting.
And that's what I was talking to Skip about too. You know, like once we do record these voices, we're gonna have to have like a place, or you know, like at least like a steady type of, like a sound studio that we record these things at.
Yeah.
That way, everyone has like a steady, like like there's no echo, there's no reverb, and everybody kind of has like the steady type of sound that we need to splice everything together and make it cohesive.
Yeah. Yeah. That part is that's going to be a big part.
Right.
But first we'll have to,
I think me and Skip could probably, I mean, like just between ourselves, probably put together something that we could use to record voices just amongst ourselves and amongst our friends down here. But,
then I'd have to arrange something for like the people around up here.
Right. And then if, like that's not counting, like, like some people are already professional and already have like cool shit that they can record their voices in.
Yeah, because Kate might have something herself. I don't know. Or I don't know what she did, or if she just like rented studio time for her releases. But we'll find out, because she's going to be on Drawing with Jack on the 6th.
Hell yeah.
So then we can just like talk to her about music and how she gets in, how she does her stuff, and sort of pitch stuff for Cox and Space and talk about that.
I'm definitely excited to have more guests on either respective show. But also, Chandler, I did want to talk to you. I mean, if you're comfortable with me referring to you by your first name on the podcast, I guess. I did want to talk to you a little bit just about like how long you've been creating and what keeps you inspired as an artist. Because personally, when I was making music, a lot of what kept me going was like the sorrow of my drug addiction. And then once I got out of that, I was like, man, I can't really focus on it anymore. So I just want to know personally, like what keeps you going? And I'm not saying, like everybody who's, made music is addicted to drugs or whatever. But, just your personal take on the matter of like what keeps you artistically motivated?
Yeah, so sometimes a couple beers help, but I don't really dabble with too much. But for me, it's like it's kind of like instead of doing therapy, I do this. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a good outlet. Music is a great outlet. And that's coming from a person who also had played guitar from the time he was like maybe 14.
Yeah.
I hadn't done it seriously in probably the last, oh God, babe, how long have we been dating? Or how long have we been together? 6 years? I probably hadn't played guitar seriously in about 6 years.
Yeah, for me, it's I think what keeps me going actually is sound design, because like telling yourself you have to finish a full song is pretty daunting. But if you just sit there and write and make cool sounds that you think are cool and then save them, you can like use them in other songs later. And then that way your inspiration pretty much like builds on itself. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what? If that's the case, I might send you some things that I've made, which I mean, like, what I was into was like lo-fi beats, it was like little shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I can help you or help the show progress in any way, just, like either as a thank you or just like, let's keep this shit going. I'd be glad to do it. But like I said, I was mostly into lo-fi stuff. Like it's a little,
Yeah, lo-fi.
like I said,
I like lo-fi.
I was making beats off my cell phone type of shit. Like it was,
Yeah.
I was doing beat loops. So, can everyone see the screen right now?
I mean, I'm watching the stream.
I will go ahead and show everyone the kittens that we have.
Oh, the kittens!
Hey.
Yes.
Oh my
It's a
god!
shame that it's a shame that Skipper isn't here right now because he would be shitting himself. This guy is the oldest one,
Facts, though.
and he's mean. He's mean to our two babies. And I say babies because this guy is older than these two. That's brother and sister right there.
Hell yeah.
Why are you so... God, he's so angry. Hang on. Face review. Hello, everybody. I'm glad I just got a haircut, but it's... Dude, if you keep wiggling, it makes it harder for me to grab you. Fucking cooperate. Let me scoop you. I know. God, y'all snake. Dude, you gotta let... I thought I had big hands until I had to deal with your ass. Like I said, we have to have the much tinier and very upset to be up in the air. I'm not gonna fuck with them anymore, but just
They're adorable.
But I will show. Oh, Raven, can you sit? Oh, here comes Zephyr. Hello, Zeph.
So do the dogs get along with the kitties, or do they just like
Yeah.
stay separate?
They do. Hello, Zephyr. Zephyr, you sit. Raven, you sit. Good dogs. Zeph, can you shake? Oh. Hey, Bo. Can you shake? Oh, There you go.
There it goes.
You don't dap with the left, bro. Come on, man. We don't dap with the left. You know, a real one, you shake. When it's a real one, you shake. Nope, not the left. We don't. Oh, Bubs, it's okay. We don't dap with the left, though. Oh. I had to pause the video because I'm digging the music. What is going on here, Chandler? What do you got going on?
So I turned the guitar sound into like a higher pad sort of thing. So what we'll see here.
Like a phaser, sort of?
Yeah, it's like an arpeggiator kind of. So looks like I can unsort.
It's okay, puppy. It's okay.
So yeah, that's what I turned it into. So it should look kind of with the whole build up with sound.
Somebody shooting off fireworks and my dog is not a fan.
No, I like that, though. Not the fact that... I'm sorry, Cosville. Not that someone is shooting off fireworks, but I am liking the music that Chandler is producing right now.
Yeah.
Which is why I say, I wouldn't call this man a musician so much as I would call him a sound artist.
Okay, and then we'll come in with I do a little hat here, add some tension.
Because I feel like that same theme that you had going with that guitar riff could be, you know, like you just add some low notes to that and make it like the spooky theme. Ooh, I like that low brass. Yes. See, like that low brass was what I was talking about. Yes, absolutely. I would definitely say though, like as far as the mix goes, I would say bring that lead guitar a little lower.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to hear like that Cox and Spade, you know, like you want to be able to hear the subtle theme without being able to pay attention to it. You know what I mean? Like that has to be obvious for the people who are just viewing it. You know what I mean? Here you go, yeah. And it's funny too because when the guitar is lowered, it sounds like it's got like a wham to it. It's got like a wham 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 wham.
Well, I just added that. That's this right here. So that's it.
Right, that was a clean.
Turn this down, and then makes it sound a lot more alien.
Yeah, like the wham wham wham. I definitely like the wah behind it. I like that.
So let's see if we can build this up.
All of it sounds cool. I'm just over here chuckling. I'm gonna have to mute myself because of.
Yeah, so I like to stop
I guess they're just a bitch for delay. I love it.
And then put this here. I do gotta go soon, but I want to come to a stopping point.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Like I said, we all have lives. We've been, hopefully, if anybody's been recording, you've been recording for the last hour or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be recorded. It's just a matter of like if they recorded on it.
Right, if they recorded everything.
So when it comes to it, Tuesday, down in a little empty little hat. Oh, wait, hold on. What about the that?
That hi-hat was crazy as hell just then. I was like, oh shit, we doing trap hop now? Let's go.
It's a trap.
I was thinking of doing I think eventually I might do an EDM remix of the theme song. That would be nice.
Dude, EDM remix of the theme song, I think would be cool for like a battle scene. Like if we actually do it.
Yeah.
Cause are there
That was
any
gonna be in the episode,
plans?
between the ship and Kaiju Marbles.
Fucking Kaiju
so that's gonna be
Marbles.
like a revisit scene. Oh no! Yeah.
At the very end, he takes all the dark matter into himself. So
Right. Yeah.
and then he grows.
So that'd be a cool thing where it's like an EDM remix, like, and it has to be just like super intense because they're fighting, a kaiju cat.
Yeah.
God, that sounds so fucking cool.
Okay, Anubis. It's just fireworks.
They won't harm you. They're outside. Hey, it's okay.
It's a,
Dude, I love that you did it like the last 30 seconds that you played. I mean, like, but like I said, even if it's just like sneak music, like dialogue music, like you said, like it sounded cool. It sounded slick. It was, fucking. It sounds very like Matrix like, where it's like, like this is to be taken seriously. It's slick. It's cool. It's fucking. Yeah, I liked it. Fuck yeah. And I feel like just that one piece could be tweaked for like different things, like it can be tweaked for like sneak music like we were doing, or it'd be tweaked for like, and it's like just based on the mix. Like I don't even feel like you have to change any like the chords or anything. It's just like, you make that synth a little higher, and that's the sneak music. You make that, you make the main theme a little higher, and it's dialogue music.
Exactly. You can use a lot of different parts for like different things.
Right. It's like, and plus like the audience is just going to recognize the theme. The music just, like it's kind of like you said, like the music helps set like 70% of the scene.
Yeah, like even if we use this pad from the first ambient track, like just adding it to this doesn't even sound terrible.
No, I wouldn't say.
I am gonna have to sidechain it.
Oh.
I'm gonna just do this real quick, and then I'll export it and send you guys a little snippet of it.
Hell yeah.
Stacy.
Inside. Inside. Anubis. There.
Stacy. Oh, yeah. Now it sounds like it's breaking. So like this is it without it. Just kind of like muddy. But if you put side chaining on it, it makes it like wet together.
Oh man. Yeah, I like that. That little synth player right there.
Yeah. I'll add a few more parts.
Oh shit! I just...
Okay. I really need to go, but one more thing.
I'm sorry, dude. You have me so excited with all the stuff that you're doing here. It is just, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
it all fits so good.
It's hard to
I feel.
Oh, here we go. We need a weird snare or something. Yeah.
Are you talking about adding claps and snares to like the main theme?
Yeah, this one's pretty glitchy, so it might actually work. So we do right here where because like there was already hats before, so we want to add something to it.
The very subtle hi-hat also is nice.
Yeah.
Like I say, way to take something and make it your own, man. I respect that about you, And like I said, once again, glad to have you a part of this.
Thanks, man. This is really fun. Okay, so we need to add this. I don't know if it's gonna sound like shit or not. That. And then hopefully.
You're gonna get old on this. Like them.
All right, I'm gonna export it. Should be done. Not done, but yeah, good tonight.
It's not your video call. You're the host.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna send this to the chat. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you for your time.
Yeah, of course. I had a great time, and I'll see you guys next week for sure. I'm gonna try and pop in and stuff, but we'll see what happens.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right, brother.